Good evening, all.
Hello.
We have another movie review for you. We've been to the cinemas a few times this week, which is great
Very good.
because we don't often get to do that.
It's awesome.
And last night we saw M. Night Shyamalan's new movie, Trap, starring Josh Hartnett.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, when M. Night Shyamalan first came onto the scene with Sixth Sense, I was a huge fan. Loved that movie. Loved Unbreakable. I think it's the best superhero movie of all time.
Superman.
Except for Superman.
Yeah.
But he kind of, for me, started going downhill pretty steadily after that. I mean, The Signs was okay. The Village was okay. And then we started seeing movies like The Happening. Lady in the Water. The Last Airbender. After Earth. Not good. He redeemed himself with Split somewhat, but then kind of ruined it with Glass and then ruined it further with Old. So
Haven't seen it.
I did not have high expectations for this movie, despite seeing the preview and going, hang on, this actually looks decent. This looks like fun. I kept my expectations quite low. And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. It's pretty much a return to form.
Yes.
Yeah.
So should we show them the trailer?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Lady Raven.
Hurry, come on, come on.
Wait. I gotta tie my shoe.
No, dad jokes, this is serious. Come on.
I'm sorry. Lady Raven!
This is slap, dad. Thank you. This is literally the best day of my life.
Hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. I can leave you here in the seat.
I'm good, dad.
All right? Hi. Psst. Cooper. Jamie.
What's with all the police trucks outside? The cameras everywhere, Jamie.
I'm not supposed to tell.
Something happening?
Don't rat me out.
I won't.
You know the butcher? The freaking nut job that goes around just chopping people up? Well, the feds or whatever heard that he's gonna be here today, so they set up a trap for him. This whole concert, it's a trap. They're watching all the exits, checking everyone that leaves. There's no way to get out of here. Somebody help me!
Dad.
I'm sorry, Riley. What was that?
Your daughter's never gonna forget this day.
You're kind of dope, right?
Okay. So that's the trailer. And I love the fact that in the trailer, it tells you
Yeah.
a bit about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it does a big reveal. But then you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's sort of like, it's a very clever trailer because it tells you what the premise is, but it doesn't tell you the story.
Yeah.
And that's the smart way of doing
It's
it.
not a spoiler to give away the fact that basically the premise is that the FBI have cottoned on to the fact that there's a serial killer named the Butcher, and they found out that he's bought a ticket to this concert and that he's going to be there on this date. So the FBI have set up a sting to capture him at the concert. And Josh Hartnett is there with his daughter, and we find out in the early scenes of the movie that, in fact, he is the butcher.
Yep.
And he has to find a way out of the concert without getting caught by police. And the first 2/3 of the movie, him trying to find a way out of this concert.
It's so clever.
It's so clever. It's really, really fun. And
you want him to get away with. That's the whole weird thing. Is like he's such a likable person. Like I was sitting there going, "Oh yeah, I'd do that," or and I'm sitting there going, "No, he's
it was
a serial
a really
killer."
smart idea to have his character there taking his daughter to the concert, because we see him in a sympathetic light from the start. You know, he's a serial killer, but he's also a dad, and clearly he must be a good dad because, you know, he's taking his daughter to a concert and she's having a great time.
And they're talking about
they're
stuff.
talking about life, and you know, he's paying attention to what's going on in her life and protecting her through things.
Yeah, he's an active parent.
Yeah,
he's actually a really, really attentive parent.
Yeah.
I was like, God, I'm sitting there like thinking as a dad, I'm thinking that's a good question.
Yeah.
You know?
So you can't help but feel sympathy for this guy. And the way he comes to finding out information, because he's obviously a smart guy. He cottons onto the fact that the police are there, that something's going on. So he finds ways to get information out of people and ask questions and get access to places he shouldn't have. And
so clever.
you know, there is a suspension of disbelief there, but at the same time, I could see this happening. I was watching the movie and I went, good God, this guy reminds me of Warren, because he's one of those people who will go into a place and just meet a perfect stranger and then become best friends with them and then get, you know, free shirts or, discounts and things like that.
Access to things.
Access, backstage passes, things like that. And you'll have a 5-minute conversation with someone and get access to all this stuff just by having the conversation. So it was a bit like, yeah, I can see this happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a serial killer, guys,
No.
I swear. But that's the one thing I was identifying with the butcher, whose name's Cooper, and that's my son's name.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there going, oh, God, could it be any more similar? But he is like you don't lose the track of the fact that he is a killer, because they pepper information all throughout the film, like he's killed 12 people, and he's got someone trapped.
Yeah.
And it's like it keeps on going to that. So for all the good qualities he's got, it always just goes straight out, and it's like, yep, he's a piece of crap. But then then he goes up again. He's like,
Yeah.
and it's. I actually just turned to Alicia. I said, "Oh man, this is an emotional roller coaster," because it really does. It reminds me a lot of De Palma.
Yeah.
Like more than a Hitchcock, because everyone was saying that Shyamalan was the new Hitchcock. To me, this reminded me of films like Snake Eyes and things like that, where it's just...
There have been comparisons to Snake Eyes, actually, in this movie.
I mean, there's one smart thing that Shyamalan did. He said on Twitter, or X for the young ones, that at no time do you get to go to the stage if the lead characters or any of the characters aren't near the stage, then the camera doesn't go any further than what these characters go. So it really, it's just such a clever concept. And the character of the singer in the film is Lady Raven, who obviously is based on like Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
It's that
Taylor
kind of,
Swift all rolled into one.
And-
Played by, I believe it's M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, Salika Night Shyamalan, who is, and the songs in the movie were penned and sung by her. She's an accomplished musician in her own right, and
they're good
they're
songs.
not bad songs. It's
Not my kind of music, but
standard sort of poppy fare, but you could see tween girls absolutely going nuts for this kind of music. And
I actually think it's better written than the stuff that is actually out there.
yeah, and she's she was a great performer and
Good singer too.
good, very good singer. so everything that happened in the first 2/3 of the movie while we're at the concert was just
Magic.
I thought. It's been a really long time since I've watched a movie where the tension remains at that high level for so long consistently.
That's Jude Hartnett, really.
Yeah. Josh Hartnett absolutely knocks it out of the park in this movie. Just the nuances of his character. You can, at the same time, there's a particular scene, I won't give it away, but where you can at the same time see the emotions that he's feeling as a dad, whilst at the same time seeing the fear
And tension.
that he has.
I know the scene you're talking about.
You
Yep.
know, trying to figure out how he's going to get out of this place, and it's awesome to watch. The problem with this movie is once we get out of the concert, it kind of goes a bit downhill from there.
The suspension of disbelief takes one leap a little bit too far.
Too far, yeah.
I still stuck with it, and I was actually having a hoot. I was
Yeah.
I mean, I was laughing
Yeah.
and everything, and going, ooh, yeah, like,
Yeah.
and it's like one of those things when you watch like a De Palma film, where you just sit there going, ha ha ha,
Yeah.
because like, yeah, oh, of course that would happen,
Yeah.
and then it's like, yeah, it does have those moments in the
Yeah.
last third. However, there's a couple of twists that, or one in particular that didn't need to happen. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person that likes having one setting and all the characters in the one setting. I would have rather it just stay at the one setting.
Yeah.
However, for the film to progress, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, Shyamalan's weakest skill is his writing.
Yeah.
I mean,
And again, it shows in this movie. The dialogue is hokey,
but
in many
Hartnett,
areas.
though, is the only actor that can deliver this dialogue in a
Yeah.
perfect way.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's become pretty evident that M. Night Shyamalan's movies are very tongue-in-cheek. But the actors that he's chosen for his movies in the past really don't seem to have gotten that memo, and they play the characters very straight. And with this hokey dialogue, it doesn't come across well. Josh Hartnett, on the other hand, knows exactly what he's doing with this character. And every line that he says is consequently very believable, even though the dialogue is pretty unrealistic, especially when they leave the concert. I could have actually forgiven the final third of the movie if it weren't for the fact that M. Night Shyamalan just has to have a twist at the end of every movie. And the particular twist that they have in this movie just ramped that suspension of disbelief over the line for me. It just stopped making sense. It's a thing that would never happen in real life, and it kind of put the brakes on the movie for me, which is really unfortunate because it had me right up until that point.
It didn't do that for me.
No?
I mean, I was still in. Like, I forgive the twist because, you know, because of that last scene. And the last scene's friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
If they'd have had the concert stuff and then
Yeah.
that last scene to get to that last scene, it would have just been a perfect M. Night Shyamalan
Yeah.
film. But I won't spoil it, obviously, but the last scene and the last shot of this film fills you with such elation for this character.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, oh, and please do a sequel.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Even with the disappointment of the final third, this movie is good enough that I'd love to see a sequel of this.
The Butcher is a great character.
I would, M. Night Shyamalan has sort of created his own little world with, the characters from Split and Unbreakable, to make Glass. The Butcher is a character that could very well exist in that universe, and it would be interesting to put him in there.
And David's son could,
Yeah.
come across him,
Yeah.
very easily.
Yeah.
And, oh, yeah, that would be, I mean, he's got the Beast, he's got the Butcher. I'm wondering what Beast is
Yeah.
going to have next.
Yeah. And the ending of this movie sort of leaves you thinking that there could possibly be more to come. And
Well, it's made enough money
yeah.
to warrant a sequel. And I'm really hoping that Warner's and Universal do because they they're on a tear at the moment. I mean, for all the bad stuff of Zaslav and that with Warner's and Discovery, they are really doing well. I mean, they did Twisters and they've done Trap and as a collab, and I think collaboration. I won't use the kids' terms. It's really crispy, and I really do think that it's a great partnership. Because both companies. I mean, my favorite monsters are Universal monsters. So for me to have like the Beast and the Butcher are basically Universal monsters.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yep, bring it on. Make a multiverse.
Good work.
It would.
And Josh Hartnett is an imposing figure in this movie as well. You see, he worked out for the role. There is a shirtless scene for the ladies in the
With intent, but we won't say what the intent
for
is.
Towards the end of the movie. And, I haven't seen Josh Hartnett with his shirt off for many, many years.
You've not seen Penny Dreadful?
And no, I haven't. When he took his shirt off, I literally went, ooh.
Yes, you did. I didn't.
Out loud in the cinema. It was like, woo.
I was sitting there going, well, damn. great role, though. It's like James McAvoy in Split. I really want him to get an Oscar nod because
he won't.
But it is worthy for me because I see other actors play roles and I'm like, that won the Oscar?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's basically playing a guy that lives down the street. Like, do some acting.
Yeah.
Be someone who you're not.
Yeah.
And that's what Hartnett does. He plays someone who's completely
He literally has to carry this movie. That it's part of the plot that we follow his character throughout the whole movie. So he literally has to carry most of this movie, and you don't get bored watching him at any point.
Not at all. And he is the most likable serial killer since Hannibal Lecter. Really.
Maybe even more so.
Yeah. Okay, so
what would you give it out of 10?
Despite the third act dip, I wouldn't say it's ruined the film for me, but the dip, I'd say 8.
Yeah, I'd say the same, an 8. It would have been probably a 9 out of 10 if it hadn't have been for the
dip.
The dip at the end. But the first 2/3 are so good that you can forgive it.
Yeah, absolutely. It it made me very thirsty, the movie, because I wanted to stay hydrated the entire movie.
If you like thrillers with a lot of fast-paced tension, then go see this movie. You will have an absolute blast.
Yeah, see it at the cinema if you can, because it's just there's films you see at the cinema that just like floor you. And for the first 2/3 of this movie, I was in the concert. I didn't even really think I was in a cinema, because we're an audience watching a concert or watching a movie about a concert. You feel so connected to the story, and it's it is a redemption and a return to form for M. Night. I mean, I liked Knock at the Cabin, and I adore Split. But this is definitely up there with Split for me.
If I had any advice for M. Night Shyamalan, it would be keep directing, but for the love of God, let someone have
Take
a pass at your dialogue.
Yeah.
And
the plotting near the end. You don't have to have a twist every film.
Yeah. This movie would have been perfect without it.
Yeah. Okay, so on that note, as I said, stay hydrated.
And remember, leggings are not